Peace and blessings all. My name is Sharon, and I would like to share my testimony of how the Lord blessed my husband and I with a house. I'm gonna read the testimony here and probably add in a few things here and there. Um, a few months ago, my father and I decided it was time to sell our two-family home that we had bought before I got married. And with the proceeds, my husband and I could buy a home. My mother had passed away about 3 years ago, and my father didn't want to stay in the house anymore. Him on the first floor and my husband and I on the second floor was a bit too much for him, so we needed to downsize. And so we prayed about it, and we found a buyer for the two family, and we needed to find a one family with maybe a in-law suite for my dad. And so selling the two family was easy, was much easier. When it came to finding the house that we wanted, that was a lot harder. But I mean, we kept praying, and just right before we were going to throw up our hands, thinking we weren't going to find anything, my husband found it was the perfect house. It was just perfect. It had everything that we needed. The only problem was that it was a little bit out of the budget that we had planned, but we we stepped out on faith, and we made an offer. The offer, we got overbid, and that was kind of devastating for us. But God was not done. We found out God was not done. We had to remember that nothing is impossible with God. We prayed again, and we stood on the fact that what God has for us is for us, and nothing and no one can stand against it. Romans 8:31 says, "What shall we say then to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?" We continued our search, um, but in the back of the mind, we just kept thinking about the house that was so perfect for us, and we just couldn't understand why we didn't get it. A couple weeks passed, and after looking at a couple of other houses, one Sunday, after we had looked at the two houses in one day, the agent told us to think about making an offer and get back to him for an offer on either one or both of the houses. And so I we were thinking, but it just didn't. They weren't they weren't acceptable, and so I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I went to sleep praying and listening to the word being read. And so when I woke up, my husband came in the room and said, "Honey, you'll never guess, the house that we wanted is back on the market." It turns out that the potential buyers had backed out after the inspection, and so the sellers had to fix the things. They took it off the market. They put it back on the market, but it was at an even higher price. And so we just didn't know what to do about that. So I was talking to my husband about it, and we started praying. The Holy Spirit just said, "Pray, just pray." And so, my husband and I, we got an agreement. We're standing there praying, and I just started speaking in tongues. And before I knew it, I heard the Lord say, uh, he gave me the amount to offer. He said to offer this amount. I'm with you. Those were his words. I am with you. And so I was kind of arguing with him, like, well, Lord, that's the amount he gave me was lower than the price that they had put it up to. They wanted that, and it's the seller's agent, but specifically it said when we first went to see the house that the sellers have a particular amount they're looking for, and they're not gonna really budge. So, but I mean, God said, offer what I tell you, and just do what I tell you, and offer this amount with you. So we did, and called the agent, offered gave him our offer. He said, "Are you sure?" We're like, "Yes, we're sure." And so he put it in, and we got a call back about an hour later, and they said we got the house. So, that just showed me that, as God, God said, do what I tell you. He had it all worked out. When something is for you, it's for you. So, just to add on to that, after the fact, we had closed and moved into the house, and the sellers came by. They had left some stuff in the garage. We told them that it was okay. There was a lot of stuff they had to move out, and they didn't really have the space and all that stuff. So we told them they could leave stuff in our garage. And so when they came to retrieve it, the the lady of the couple was a man and his wife. And by the way, they were not the actual owners. They were the parents of the couple. It was their daughter and her husband. They had passed away, and so the couple that sold the house were the parents, and so the lady the lady, she came to me and she told me, Sharon, I gotta apologize to you, because God told me to sell that house to you and your husband, but I didn't listen. I listened to the seller's agent. She wanted to get more money for the house. And so she said, I'm so sorry. And I told her, like, I think I said, I told her that it's okay, because, there's a reason that we didn't get it. It wasn't ready for us. And so, those issues had to be taken care of. So that is my testimony. Just trust the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge God, and He will direct your path. And when God is for you, nothing and no one can be against you. So I pray that this was a blessing to you, and thank you so much for allowing me to share my testimony. Hope it wasn't too long. All right, thank you. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.